There's always something to get started. I have to laugh about myself. I go, wow, that's a great moment, a great ritual, so to speak. So I'm happy that you're here at the Miracle Sessions. I'm happy that we come together because, there's just a confirmation that it's working. So that's really great. And so did you already have a miraculous experience today? I hope you did. It would be wonderful. And so whether you listen to this on YouTube or whether you're directly in class, it's really great because this is the moment that you can actually experience something else than all that you already know so well. And so today we're going to say relax, to take a moment to say come into a receptiveness, and we do that by breathing, by relaxing, by letting go, by letting go, and by letting go, and by letting go. That just keeps going on, and it works so well. Suddenly there's more space in your mind. Suddenly there's more space for the light to come in, that we can experience right in this instant. It's given to us because of our joint purpose in coming to know who we really are. Coming to know who we really are. Discovering the communication that is unbroken. And seeing that the separation that was for a moment with us in ideas, that it disappears into the nothingness where it came from. So this is your opportunity for having that as a real experience to yourself. So sit back, relax, let come up whatever needs to come up, like emotional whatevers, let it come up. But don't pursue it, don't really do anything with it except letting it be. And know that you're in really good hands, that you can completely trust in this moment that everything is supporting you to wake up out of this contracted, self-identity that you were defending for a moment. So you don't have to do that anymore. You can drop it. You can completely drop it. You don't need it. So drop your defenses. You have nothing to lose. It's not a threat at all. It's coming to your natural state of being, which is your true self-identity. So, but the part that you're comforted, that you're really in good hands in this moment is really essential. So whatever happened before has no relationship with this moment at all. Like we use the words, there's no link of memory to the past. Like that is nothing to do with this complete whole moment that we're entering into and that you're a whole part of. So the only limitation that we can perceive is basically listening with our fragmented ears, or seeing with our fragmented eyes, or thinking that we're separate, or that something occurred in which we don't deserve wholeness anymore. Like you could call that guilt or sin, or any idea that you hold against yourself to attack yourself. And you can drop that. It's not necessary. You don't have to use that weapon against yourself anymore. Those days are over. You can really let go of that. In this moment, this has absolutely nothing to do with anything that you did before or that you thought before. So it's completely free to be itself. And you can allow yourself to let your fragmented ears be, put into a whole different new perspective, and feel that you're in your wholeness, can listen to this and see that you're completely a part of it. So obviously that is the invitation today. And so the class today, I walked up against something and I started reading it, and now it has me. So I want to share that with you. What I started to read is a little piece that was actually a talk of someone I know very well and know very dearly too. So it is, the title of it is The Only Answer. And then it has a subline to it, which is love your cancer. So that's almost like a rhyme. The only answer, love your cancer. So I'm reading some of that. So sit back and relax and let this come to you. It is from Master Teacher, and he gave this talk sometime. I have no idea when. It didn't really say that. But I'm starting reading it. So it contains parts of chapter 6 from A Course in Miracles, which is Fear and Attack. And we just posted that on YouTube that you can listen to it. So 6E is then the section that is being used in this talk too. So you can always read that again. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this document that came to me. And the only answer, love your cancer. But maybe I'll post it too. Who knows? Because it's really great to go through it. Anyway, I will let you taste first. And so sit back and relax and just listen. Try to hear it with your whole being. The only answer, love your cancer. I'm doing that. I'm communicating somewhere in my own association with my own thought forms. You are undergoing experiences of communication here. This is what I want you to see. It is called cellular communication. It's strange that contained in each cell, its cellular misidentity of the body, or its limited formulation of communication within itself, the single thread that is contained within it is its own whole association that it is using as a power of itself. There's an admonition that I have given to some of you that I want to explain today. I hope that I'm able to explain it because it could be part of the Academy teaching if you can understand this. Obviously, the cellular association, I'll use this consciousness because I looked at it and said to it, you are cancerous. I want to see if you can get this with me. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to tell you this, and this has been arrived at now by the microbiologist or whatever. The only cell that they are asserting in the cellular association is that eternal is the freaking cancer cell. Obviously, your cancer cells are trying to tell you something about their dissatisfaction with the arrangement that you are forcing on them through your own genetic memory. I'm going to read it because it's in Life magazine this last week. And the most amazing part about it is that having determined that the length of there's descriptions of the term coming from the chromosome, I'm not really concerned about that. But what they intend to do is to take the cancer cell, utilize the part of it that's eternal, to identify it in its continued limitation. It's exactly the opposite of what they're supposed to do. Obviously, because to them, life is longevity rather than the conversion of the perceptual association. Listen to me. I don't care whether you hear this or not. I've told you that I'm going to tell you once more that this will scare the hell out of you. The fact of the matter is that the perceptual association who associate with A Course in Miracles, I said the first time I ever looked at it, will have a great deal of tendency to become cancerous. That's a fact and you don't like it. But what you don't understand is, to me, there's nothing more beneficent than cancerism. Obviously, it's a utilization of a power of a cell that can be used by all cells instead of being denied, where defenses are set up to attack the cell, which are actually only what? Usurping the power of God in order to multiply itself. which is exactly what all the other cells do, don't they? Because they are identifying themselves in the limitation of the projections of their own self within themselves. So there's a guy, Bernie Siegel, you ought to get him here. He says that you can laugh your cancer away. Well, obviously that is true. He doesn't go far enough with it, but the biggest joke in the universe is cancer. Cancer is what God is. You guys don't like it. What you want to do is limit your cellular relationship. Obviously, the demonstration in the quantum in every single cell is its own whole reality. What is specialization but death? Specialization is only death. You depend on specialization in your limited communicative devices, not to see that you are whole. Who is with me with this? We are faced with a situation where you are demonstrating perfect, limited communication. You would have to be, or you would not know that you're doing it. Who sees this? You're obviously using a power in the universe to demonstrate a body association. Jesus says this is a break-off in communication, and of course it is. But remember, there's nothing outside of your mind, be it an extension by God mind or a projection by your mind. It's always an association with what? Itself, you dummy. You're only an association with your own mind. You set up the conflict to verify the necessity for the retention of the specialization. You got it? And you will use up the resources of that genetic memory contained within that self that's called the aging process. You understand me? So you end up with a horrible thing. Look at this poor lady. Look at you, dummies. What are you doing? You really think that there's a difference in this cell and in this cell. But the differences in these two cells is exactly what your problem is. Because between those two cells is either a whole association of reality or a limited association being exchanged in special conflict between the cellular arrangement. You got that? It is a limited form of communication based on the genetic memory that must be a condition of longevity. And it will be used up, but it need not be. So what is this? 6. You finally use up reality because reality is not a potential of cellular relationship. Who hears this? This is chapter 6 in A Course in Miracles. You believe you have the ability and the potential to assert your own reality in combination of your genetic memory. And you do have, and you are doing it. But remember that the fundamental concept of self-association, that is autonomy of self, is based on dissociation, not on association. It's literally a break in communication. But once it occurs, it will reflect continual break within the perceptual mind. Do you understand? Right, so this is a start of that. This is a start. This is a bite of it. So this continues for another, say, 40 pages, just about. I'm not going to read it all today, but I love to share a little about what is being said, because see, whatever is being said, suddenly you are going, like this happened to me. Suddenly I'm going to be pointed at chapter 6. And I read one line, and that's like, oh my God, that is so great. It's so great to hear that. I will read this to you. It's just one line. Remember that the Holy Spirit is the answer, not the question. The ego always speaks first because of its capricious, and does not mean it's make a well. It is a capricious, and it does not mean it's make a well. Remember that the Holy Spirit is the answer, not the question. See, and that is, I don't know what happened. I don't have to explain it either. But here's what I want to share in what happened for me is this. Like suddenly after reading this, I get glimpses of what is being said and what I think it means. Like I literally hear it for what it says for a moment. I would not be able to explain it, but it opened me up, and suddenly I start to read in chapter 6 something like the only answer is then that literally came in like a bomb. You know, it's like, oh, unbelievable how great it is to be so open, and then starting reading it, reading the course, reading a section, reading one sentence, seeing that exactly what you wanted to hear is here confirmed. You know, it's like beautiful opening and beautiful confirmation of what you share, what you teach. So that is, see, that's helpful to see that whether you listen with your fragmented ears or with your, as I call it, like fragmented ears or eyes, see with your fragmented eyes, or wait for it to be revealed to you, is basically what I'm trying to convey to you here. It's like there's a great difference between that, because your fragmented ears will always limit the occurrence, limit the experience, limit the idea of what you see. But seeing beyond that, like letting it be revealed to you, is a whole different story that will immediately also confirm your connectedness to it. And that's just so lovely that I love to share that. So I will read some more from chapter 6, because it's so very helpful in discovering what is being shared as real comfort to you. You know, so let me see where oh yeah, here. This is section D, then there's a little before section E. As you teach, so will you learn. If that is true, and it is true indeed, you must never forget that what you teach is teaching you. See, another great line. So this is in chapter 6, D5. As you teach, so will you learn. So you know that is true. It's like whatever you confirm in yourself is teaching you. If I teach separation, I will get the experience of that. We did that. So now it is, okay, teaching the truth to myself. Like as you teach, so will you learn. You start to teach this. You start to open yourself up to hear what it says. And there's the opportunity that you are being taught, that you suddenly start to receive something that you didn't hear before. What you project, you believe. The only real safety lies in projecting only the Holy Spirit. Because as you see His gentleness in others, your mind perceives itself as totally harmless. See, and this I really am, I don't know how to express this, that's obvious, but it's like, this is what I'm living. It's like you want the Holy Spirit to work through you, to be your expression. Like I know the outcome of my thoughts. I know what the consequences are when I try to fix something, or when I try to discover something. If I try to say have a different outcome in the things that I'm so used to. I'm having this specific situation. I know my outcomes. When I try to do it myself, I know that it does not work. But now I have my Holy Spirit. I want that to be my guide in this. See, and that is like, you have to be so patient to do that. because you already found so many alternatives that you can immediately use. Or there's so much temptation in the patients, like there's so much temptation for you to see that you can actually not wait to see it change, but literally you can't wait to do it. That's why you repeat lessons over and over. So this is what I'm trying to express. It's like the thing that you can wait for it and that it will answer. Like it is literally the only answer that will work, that will get you out of this situation. So in that sense, patience is really working, because that was the only requirement for you. The answer will be given. It can take a moment, but it will be given. It will be given in the time that you actually are open to receive it. It's waiting for you. You don't have to wait for it. That's so great. So I love to live that, so to speak, because I trust that completely, and I'm sick and tired of my own ways of dealing with all of this. You know, I don't want to do it my own way anymore. So the situations that come up this time for the last time, because I really ask for help in that. I want it to be changed in a way that's constructive. I want it to dissolve. You know, so that's the opportunity in every situation that comes back to you. But you really gotta live it. You gotta, so I'll do this a bit. So you really gotta live it. You want to hang on to your patience, like, don't respond before you get the answer. Just don't do it. Don't do it. You're not going to lose anything. You're not going to miss anything. Now it's like, it's worth the wait. And not that it has to be a long time, but it can feel like that. So that's what I wanted to share. And that came up by reading this and by being opened, by opening my mind literally to hear what this says that I just read to you from Master Teacher. Like there's no say real line in what I shared from him, but there's a lot of exercise. You can feel that you're being activated in listening and trying to opening yourself up to hear what it says, because it's for you, it's for nobody else. It's like you can say, okay, well, that's not for me, that's too difficult, or that's too much for me, or whatever it is. See, that would just be a defense. So the great thing is, no, this is for you. This is for you. The Urtext is for you. See, and I think there's many times too, when I teach this or when I express this, it's like, who will hear this? Who will hear this? And then it always takes sometimes a moment to return to myself. It's like, well, as long as I hear it, that's great, because then actually I can say extend that. So it is about me, it is for me, it's my way to get out of here, out of my own constriction. So that is the opportunity in all that we read. And it takes sometimes a moment to get what it says, but see, the only answer is coming to you. There's only one answer coming to you, and it's worth waiting for that. If you didn't receive that yet, wait, be patient. So that's a real exercise, patience. So you're probably very familiar with that too, and it's like, is it really a virtue of you? Like, can you really do that very well? Then you have not a problem with it. But I don't know. I better speak for myself, of course. So I know that when the answer comes, and I receive that in terms of the communication and the re-establishment of the communication, of like seeing that the connectedness, of feeling an experience, having an experience of oneness in it, or really like experiencing the miracle in the holy instant, is by receiving that. Then I'd like, oh my God, how could I ever be not patient and wait for this? Because this works. It is given to me and it's the only answer. So the other answers that you used are not answers, they're just noise creating more chaos. So that is really wonderful. So see if there's another. See, and this is all very comforting, because it's like if there's only one answer and I wait for it, I get the confirmation that I'm safe. I'm literally, being confirmed in my connectedness. That takes care of fear. Okay. The only real safety lies in projecting only the Holy Spirit, because as you see His gentleness in others, your own mind perceives itself as totally harmless. Because as you see His gentleness in others, your own mind perceives itself as totally harmless. Once it can accept this fully, it does not see the need to protect itself. The protection of God then dawns upon it, assuring it that it is perfectly safe forever. So, and this is what we say, like Joel used this too in his talks. It's like it's the protection of for your day. You do your daily exercise, your meditation, you read your reading or your contemplation of, or you pick up your lesson of A Course in Miracles and start doing it. It's like you walk around with your protection. You literally remembered, oh yes, well, I got to be patient, I got to wait, I got to listen. I'm not picking up any of the ideas that are just ready to go, but are not real answers. No, I want the only answer and follow that. That will be my protection, and I take that with me wherever I go. The perfectly safe are wholly benign. So when you follow up on this advice, or this only way in that sense, if you follow up on that, you discover your wholly benign, the ones that you meet this way. Once you see their perfection, you see that they're wholly benign. You discover that you are that too. They bless because they know they are blessed. Without anxiety, the mind is wholly kind, and because it projects beneficence, it is beneficent. See, this all sounds so logical when you hear it. It's like so logical. Yes, of course, and we can all agree and shake heads like, yeah, this is so true, absolutely. So the practice is great, and this is the opportunity to not only confirm this to me, but to come into the practice that, yes, this is what I'm doing and I'm getting the effect of it. It works so well, it's unbelievable. The perfectly safe are wholly benign. They bless because they know they are blessed. Without anxiety, the mind is wholly kind, and because it projects beneficent, it is beneficent. So they bless because they know they are blessed. That has also to do with this idea, is that if you give, like nothing is taken from you by giving. In the world it seems that way, but not in sharing ideas or sharing love with one another. Not in that, So if you feel blessed, it is easy to bless. There's nothing lost of that. It's like, no, actually it becomes even bigger. You share your joy to it. You see someone receives it and you get excited about that too. So it's like that is how this fire is being ignited. And this is the opportunity in everyone you meet, and in the way that you think about so-called others, and the way that you think about yourself. So yeah, you have to hear this over and over and over and over to get it to get it in here. you know, or get it in here more or less. Safety, oh, here's another one. Safety is the complete relinquishment of attack. No compromise is possible in this. Teach attack in any form and you have learned it and it will hurt you. So these are really, say, mechanisms that we share in this little section. It's like the mechanism of, okay, this has the causes attack, and the effect of that is pain for you. The same as projecting beneficence makes you experience your beneficence. Sharing your blessing is giving you the experience of blessing, like you know that you are blessed. That becomes as a safety for you. Okay, so yeah, this is really the lessons of the Holy Spirit. We did that the other day. It's like the lessons of the Holy Spirit. The only way to have peace is to teach peace. By learning it through projection, it becomes a part of you that you know, because you cannot teach what you have dissociated. Only thus can you can win back the knowledge you threw away. Whoa. The only way to have peace is to teach peace. By learning it through projection, it becomes a part of you that you know, because you cannot teach what you have dissociated. Only thus you win back the knowledge you threw away. An idea which you share, you must have. It awakens in you through the conviction of teaching. Remember that if teaching is being and learning is being, then teaching is learning. Everything you teach, you are learning. Teach only love, and learn that love is yours, and that you are love. Teach only love, and learn that love is yours, and you are love. See, these are the lessons of the Holy Spirit. So then, right after this, is the only answer given, like the section, the only answer starting. So that's a beautiful follow-up. But the exercise is coming to the idea of teaching this, sharing this, not to teach others or something. No, it is for you to learn. So you start to apply the ideas, and that is what teaching is. It's not standing in front of a class or anything like that. It can be part of it too, but it's not necessary. You teach all the time. You teach something all the time, whether you teach separation, whether you teach limitation, whether you teach beneficence, or whether you teach love. You'll get the effect of that immediately. You feel different when you do so. And you know this very well. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But it's great to be aware of that and using it actively. And that you become aware, like, I am safe. I am being confirmed in my true identity. I am blessed, and I see my blessings. Like, it's unbelievable. Everything is given to me. I cannot think of anything that isn't given me. You know, it's like there's no lack involved in it at all. So, and then here are the situations, the learning situations that you're in. This time you're in the middle of who knows what event, and you want to do something with it to get it resolved, and you have no idea what to do. So then returning back to where we started, is like, oh yeah, wait a minute, I want to solve this in the right way, like not by my doing, but by I want to receive the only answer, by becoming still, by say taking a moment to have that be revealed to me, and waiting long enough until I really hear, I really see, like, oh, this what is coming to me is the answer. I'm in an experience of connectedness. I feel not this, say, contracted separation feeling anymore. No, suddenly I can breathe. It's like, yes, I'm so happy that I've waited long enough to see what the next step is for me. That I didn't need to hurry at all. That I can stretch it out as long as I want in order for me to take time to come to the real, say, to the right step or the right answer. So that's really the offering of today. It's like, be patient to receive this, and be totally patient to receive this. Don't try to have like a halfway solution and pick that up for a moment to fix it or to put a band-aid on it. No, there are no shortcuts. There is no shortcut involved here. No, it's just the answer will be given. You can trust that completely. And you want to wait for it, because actually you're teaching patience, and you're all the patience in the universe when you do that. So also you feel that you're completely blessed when you get the answer. So you can bless, you teach blessing at the same time. That's beneficent for you. That's really great for you. That's a real occurrence for you, not for anyone else. And all are included at the same time. All right, well, I think that we have to stop here, because we have only an hour or so. So anyway, thank you so much for your attention. I'm really happy that you were here, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.